Welcome, and thank you for joining me today. Today, we journey back to the golden age of ancient India, a time of prosperity, power, and great philosophical wisdom. Our story revolves around an extraordinary encounter between ambition and compassion, deception and wisdom, and the ultimate lesson of conquering one's own mind. It is a tale that transcends time, carrying valuable lessons for our modern lives. Our story begins in the magnificent kingdom ruled by King Bimbisara. He was a powerful and successful ruler, beloved by his people for his just governance and unwavering dedication to their welfare. Under his reign, the kingdom flourished, its wealth and influence spreading far and wide. Yet, as is often the case with power, success breeds envy. Among the many who admired, or envied, the king, there was one man whose ambition knew no bounds: Anathapindika, a wealthy and influential merchant. To outsiders, he was a man of means, respected in society, but within his heart, a burning desire for power consumed him. It was not enough to be wealthy, he wanted control. He craved the throne. And so, he devised a plan to dismantle King Bimbisara's rule and seize the kingdom for himself. One evening, in the dimly lit chambers of his lavish home, Anathapindika gathered his closest confidants. Around him sat men skilled in deception, individuals willing to do whatever it took to advance their master's agenda. Their discussion was hushed but urgent. How could they remove the king from his throne? Suggestions flew from every corner of the room. Assassination, one man proposed. A swift end to the king, and the kingdom will be ours to claim. No, Anathapindika responded, shaking his head. Murder is a blunt instrument. It will create martyrs, stir suspicion, and invite retaliation. We need something more refined. Then let us ruin his reputation, another suggested. We spread lies, rumors so insidious that even his most loyal followers will begin to doubt him. Anathapindika frowned. A good idea, but lies are fragile. The truth has a way of surfacing. Bribery, then, someone else offered. Turn his guards, his ministers, his allies against him. Possible, he mused, but not without risk. Loyalties shift, and betrayals breed further betrayal. As he deliberated, an old man, silent until now, stepped forward from the shadows. His voice was measured, deliberate, carrying the weight of experience. There are 4 ways to destroy your enemy, he said. Anathapindika leaned forward, intrigued. 4 ways? Explain. The first is to destroy him physically, eliminate him from existence. But this is crude, risky, and invites retribution. The second is to destroy his reputation, to poison the minds of his people against him. But lies, once exposed, turn against their maker. The third is to create discord among his allies, to break his foundation so his empire crumbles under its own weight. This is effective but requires patience and cunning. And the fourth? Anathapindika pressed, sensing the true wisdom lay ahead. The old man met his gaze. The fourth is the most powerful of all. Conquer his mind. Influence him, manipulate his thoughts, play upon his hopes, fears, and weaknesses. This is the art of true mastery. Anathapindika listened carefully as the sage continued. Flattery, fear, guilt, even compassion, all can be weapons if wielded wisely. But remember, to conquer another's mind, you must first master your own. Determined, Anathapindika set his plans in motion. He began with subtle flattery, offering King Bimbisara gifts, words of admiration, and gestures of loyalty. Meanwhile, he worked in the shadows, planting seeds of doubt and discord among the king's closest allies. He whispered suspicions into ears, twisted truths, and watched as uncertainty seeped into the royal court. For a time, his tactics seemed to work. The king's influence began to waver. His once unshakable authority seemed vulnerable. But Anathapindika was not satisfied. He craved total victory, complete control over the king's mind. And so he chose his final tactic, compassion. In a surprising move, Anathapindika approached the king in humility. He confessed his schemes, admitted his treachery, and offered himself as a loyal servant. King Bimbisara listened, his expression unreadable. He was not blind to deception, nor was he easily swayed. But he was a man of wisdom, a ruler who understood that the greatest strength lay not in vengeance but in understanding. He spoke gently yet firmly. Anathapindika, I am neither foolish nor naive. I see through your games. But tell me, why do you seek to conquer me? What is it that you truly desire? Anathapindika faltered. What did he truly desire? Power, control, or something deeper, something even he had not dared to acknowledge. The king continued, True power is not in wealth or control over others. The greatest conquest is of the self. The real enemy is not the one who stands before us, but the one that resides within our own greed, hatred, and ignorance. To conquer an enemy's mind is fleeting. But to conquer one's own mind, that is the ultimate victory. These words struck Anathapindika to his core. He had spent his life seeking dominion over others, but never once had he sought to master himself. Moved by the king's wisdom, he abandoned his pursuit of power. Instead, he dedicated himself to a life of service, following the path of compassion and mindfulness. He became a devoted follower of Gautama Buddha, learning that true victory lay not in destruction, but in the transformation of the self. This story serves as a powerful reminder. The strongest weapon is not force, but wisdom. The greatest victory is not over others, but over the turmoil within. And sometimes, the greatest transformation comes not from conquering our enemies, but from embracing our own humanity. Thank you for listening, and may this story serve as a guide on your journey toward mindfulness, wisdom, and inner peace.